Well, Jordy, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. And how are you doing? How are you holding up?
Yeah, thank God, all good. Can't complain too much. All's good. And you, your side?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm talking to you from Toronto, Canada, where we have a very large Jewish South African community. As a matter of fact, my son is marrying a young lady who her family is all from South Africa, Jews that have moved here. So this is very, very special for me to be able to talk to you about this. What a wonderful film. And thank you for making it, because it is so important that young people see these testimonies, see these films. So I wanted to start by asking you, how did you meet Ella? How did you connect with her? And then I know this is your first big feature, you've done shorts, but then you thought, yeah, I got to put this woman on film pronto.
So, so I was very lucky. I grew up in the same Jewish community as Ella in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'll never forget it. One night we were both at a Friday night dinner together, and she stood up, sort of uninvited. No one asked her to please stand up and speak, but she stood up on her own and she started recounting these harrowing stories of life in the concentration camps.
Yeah.
And we were all shocked. We didn't expect this at a Friday night dinner, and we were all in tears. And then something even more remarkable happened, and that was that she started. It's almost like she had a complete shift, because she was dancing, she was singing, she was like the life of the party, playing with the kids.
Yeah.
And from a very young age, I must have been 14 at the time. I looked at this woman and I thought, how could this woman who's been through sort of hell on earth, she continues each day with a smile, and she actually brightens up everyone's life who is around her. And from a very young age, I knew I needed to befriend her. I needed to be around her as much as possible. And when I was a bit older and I went into film, I constantly talked about it, that I wanted to capture her life story in a documentary. And then in 2019, the stars aligned, and she was turning 98, and
Yeah, amazing.
it was the perfect time. It felt like sort of a now or never moment. So that's how my first real memory of meeting her and how this process happened.
Yeah, and she's so giving and open, and like you say, for somebody who went through what she went through, so full of life and appreciates life, obviously. What was her reaction when you told her that you wanted to sit her down and put all this on film? Because of course, we have, God bless him, Steven Spielberg, who has gone out and pretty much interviewed everybody who's still alive to get their testimonies over the years. And thank God for things like that. But what was her reaction to you wanting to tell her story?
Well, she was, she was incredibly game. She really wanted us to go ahead with the project, and I think also there was an element of trust between myself and her that we created over years. So she felt like she could trust me with her story, and that
Right.
me and the team that I put together would do it justice. Um, I'm not sure if I've lost you. It seems to be
It's okay.
frozen.
You froze for a second, but you're good. You're still there. You're still there.
Perfect. So and yeah, and I think also one of the real things that she was really excited about is, we try to also aim the documentary at a much younger audience,
Exactly.
the sort of audience that would be, when there's no more Holocaust survivors alive to tell their stories. We wanted to aim at that audience so that they could watch Ella's story and it could be palatable. And that's why we incorporated animation, and we really, really tried to aim at that younger audience. So she was incredibly excited about trying to aim at, to sort of have her legacy captured on film for eternity.
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's amazing because of course there's programs like March of the Living and all these types of things where the Holocaust survivors actually still go. I mean, obviously we haven't had it for 2 years, but God willing, we're going to have it back. But as you say, there's not going to be very many years that we're going to have these people with us, and they do want to spread their stories. They do, because especially, you know what, Jordy, it really hit me at the top of the documentary, how you started it with everything that is going on in our world right now, from, you know, with anti-Semitism and what is going on. Why did you decide to start that way? I mean, it's hard hitting and it really works, but was that always in your mind that you were going to start the doc that way?
So that actually came a lot later in the process, actually closer towards the end of making the film. We started to approach different people in the industry with the project, and the response we sort of got was, you know, why another Holocaust film? Why, you know, why is this relevant to now?
Yeah,
And,
wow.
you know, all we had to do was go on the internet, and you know, all the events depicted in the film are about 2-3 years old, and they,
Yeah,
you know, they're happening around the world, with these anti-Semitic and anti, you know, Holocaust denial events. So, you know, that was us at the very, very beginning of the film, showing why this topic is still relevant, because people have not learned from history. And even just looking at what's going on now between Russia and Ukraine,
yeah.
you know, people really have not learned from history. And Ella's message is one of love and understanding and tolerance. So the film really now, I feel, is in this climate is really, you know, more relevant than ever.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that was my next thing about it. It is so relevant because, you know, I was sitting on Friday night having dinner with my mother, who's 85, who just escaped the war. I mean, we were watching the news together, which we don't often do, but, you know, and the tears were streaming down her face because she was like, oh my God, it reminds me of when we were in the tents and what we went through. And so I was thinking, you know, and I was telling her that I was going to speak to you this morning. And I said, these stories need to be told and people need to wake up, you know. And I'm wondering, are you showing this in schools? Are you getting it out there? And what has been the response from kids or teens who have seen it?
So we've started to work on a program with the Johannesburg Holocaust and Genocide Center here. We've showed it to about 3 schools so far, and we're working on an educational syllabus with them,
Good.
because yeah, it's been amazing also just to interact with the kids and to see what they pick up on, and you know, what's meaningful for them, and we're really using that to build this syllabus. And especially in South Africa, the Holocaust syllabus that the kids are learning is pretty outdated,
I'm
and
sure.
I really think that this film can give a very unique um, perspective, where the kids are able to go on this journey with Ella, as told through the animation and Ella's story, and really just also to be able to empathize with her along the way. I think really that's what one of the things a lot of the kids have said is that they, you know, they've walked through the center, or they've learned it in their history books in sort of in black and white,
Yeah.
but the film allowed them to do is really connect with Ella, and through connecting with her and understanding what she's been through, to be able to empathize with her and understand.
Yeah, she's so inspiring. And I was wondering, you know, when the film was finished and you showed it to her, how did she react to it and seeing herself, you know?
She absolutely loved the film, and it was a huge relief for us and the whole team working on the film, because you know that's when you have someone as iconic as Ella, you wanting to make a film that she'll be happy with, and you know, it's essentially her legacy on you know, on film. So so her reaction and to the film was just the greatest joy that we've had, really.
Yeah, it must be amazing, you know, for her family and everybody. And you know, I know she's not feeling that well. Was looking forward to speaking to her as well. But you know, I'm glad that we were able to chat. What does she say? You know, in terms of hoping that people will realize what she went through, that it was real, that it's not propaganda. You know, when you see people like her, you know, how does she feel about spreading that word? Obviously, you know, it's just amazing to me how amazing this woman is. You know, it's unbelievable.
Yes. Well, there was an incident in South Africa where there was a social media influencer who posted the most crazy things about the Holocaust, and very anti-Semitic remarks,
Yeah,
and Ella's response to her was really astounding. I can tell you, if it was me, after everything that Ella, if I had gone through everything that Ella had been through, I would have, you know, sworn at this woman. I would have approached it from a completely different angle. But
right.
Ella really approached it in a manner of love, and you know, she sent her an open letter saying, I'd love to meet with you, I'd love to have a coffee with you, and you tell me your story, I'll tell you mine, and through that we'll be able to find that there's far more that unites us than what divides us. And I think that's really, it's an incredible approach, especially from someone who's been through what she's been through, to be able to see the world and to be able to forgive and to love and to
Yeah.
just want to foster understanding and love is, from her, it's just really remarkable.
It is remarkable. Well, again, thank you so much for making the documentary. It is so important. And, we want to get it out there everywhere. So just spread it to the world as fast as you can. I really appreciate your time today, Jordy. Thank you so much. And best of luck to you with your future. And thank you again.
Thank you, Bonnie. All the
Okay.
best. Thank
Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
you. All the best. Bye.
You too. Thank you.